if a discount of 10% is given on the marked price of an article, a shopkeeper makes a profit of 35%. So final profit has to be 35%. Now we will assume that the cost price is rupees 100. Now his final profit has to be 35%, which means that the selling price has to be 135. That is if you assume that the cost price is rupees 100. Now if he is giving a 10% discount on the mark price, then his selling price has to be 135, so that he'll get 35% profit. He's giving a 10% discount on the mark price means he will get only 90% of the mark price, and this should be equal to 135. So he will get 35% profit because we are assuming that the cost price is rupees 100. So using this, let us calculate the mark price. So this is the equation that we have got. I'll cancel out the zeros. 9 divides 15 times. So mark price, you will get it as 10 into 15, 150. So 150 is the mark price. Now the question is, find his profit percentage if he offers a discount of 20% on the mark price. Mark price is 150. He is offering a 20% discount, which means that he will get only 80% of the mark price. 80% of 150. That is what he will get. I will cancel out the zeros. 8 into 15 gives you 120. So if he is offering a 20% discount on the mark price, he will get 120. His cost price is 100 and he is getting 120, which means that his profit percentage will be 20% profit. Hence option B, 20%. Right now the time is 5 p.m. After how many minutes will the hour hand and the minute hand coincide? So we'll draw the clock like this. You have 12 here, 6 and 9 here, 4 here and 5 here. So exactly at 5 o'clock, the hour hand will be here and the minute hand will be here. Now exactly at 5 o'clock, the angle between the hour hand and minute hand, this angle will be 150 degrees. Because 1/2 is 180. So this one part is 180 and this one part is 180. Between 5 and 6 is 30 degrees. So between 12 and 5 is 30 degrees less than 180. So this angle will be 150. So right now the angle is 150 degrees and you can see that the angle is decreasing because the minute hand is here. And every minute the angle will decrease by 5.5 degrees. So in 1 minute this angle will decrease by 5.5, in 2 minutes will decrease by 11 and so on. Now the question is, after how many minutes will the hour hand and minute hand coincide? Now when they coincide, the angle between hour hand and minute hand will be 0. And right now the angle is 150 degrees, and when will they coincide? When the angle becomes 0. And from 150 to 0, the angle has to decrease by 150 degrees. So what is the time required for the angle to decrease by 150 degrees? When it decreases by 150, it will become 0 and they will coincide. Now time required is distance by speed gives you time. The angle has to decrease by 150 degrees. So distance to be moved is 150. So distance by speed, it is decreasing at 5.5 degrees per minute. So speed is 5.5 degrees per minute. So distance by speed gives you time. This is equal to 300 by 11. That you will get it as 27/3 by 11. So time required is 27/3 by 11. That is option C. The simple interest on a certain sum for 2 years at 10% per year is rupees 200. What would be the compound interest for the same sum at the same rate for the same duration? So simple interest for 2 years is rupees 200. So we'll just mark it here. Simple interest for 2 years is 200. Now simple interest that you get every year, it is always constant. You will get it as R% of principal, it is always constant. For 2 years it is 200, so first year it has to be 100, second year it has to be 100. Now simple interest for the first year and compound interest for the first year, they are always same. Simple interest first year is 100. So compound interest first year also should be 100. Now what will be the compound interest for the second year? Now this 100 you will get. This 100 is R% of principal that you will get, and also you will be getting R percentage of first year's interest. Now R is 10% per year. So you will get 10% of this 100, 10% of first year's interest also you will be getting. 10% of 100 is 10. So at the end of 2 years, compound interest will be 100 plus 100 plus 10, that will be 210. So compound interest for 2 years will be 210, that is option B. In a 100-meter race, A can beat B by 25 meters. So let us write it down here. So A and B are running a 100-meter race. In the time that A does the full 100 meters, B will be able to do only 75 meters. That is why we say A can beat B by 25 meters, or B will be behind A by 25 meters. Also, B can beat C by 20 meters. Which means that when B and C are running the 100-meter race, when B does the full 100 meters, B can beat C by 20 meters, or C will be 20 meters behind. C will do only 80 meters. So these are the two informations that we have. When A does 100 meters, B will do 75. When B does the full 100 meters, C will be 20 meters behind. C will do only 80 meters. Now the question is, in the same race, A can beat C by how many meters? So what we need to find out is, when A does the full 100 meters, what is the distance covered by C? Now when A does 100 meters, B will do 75 meters. So what we need to find out is, when B does the 75 meters, what is the distance covered by C? So we can calculate that from this. I'll cancel out the zeros, which means that when B does 10 meters, C will do 8 meters. Similarly, if you divide both values by 2, when B does 5 meters, C will do 4 meters. Now, if you multiply both numerator and denominator by 15, 5 into 15 gives you 75. So, when B does 75 meters, C will do 4 into 15, 60. So, from this we know, when A does 100 meters, B will do 75 meters. And when B does 75 meters, C will do 60 meters. So basically, when A does 100 meters, C will do only 60 meters. So C will be behind A by 40 meters. So in a 100-meter race, when A does 100 meters, C will be 40 meters behind, or A will beat C by 40 meters. Hence option B, 40 meters. The ratio of the speeds of A and B is 5:4. In a 600-meter race, A gives B a start of 100 meters. Then A wins by how much distance? The ratio of the speeds of A and B is 5:4. So when A does 5 meters, B will do 4 meters. Similarly, when A does 50 meters, B will do 40 meters. If you double both the values, when A does 100 meters, B will do 80 meters. Now it is a 600-meter race. So if you multiply both values by 6, when A does 600 meters, B will do 80 into 6, that is 480 meters. Also, A gives B a start of 100 meters. So you have A and B here. A allows B to run initially for 100 meters. And in the time that B does 480 meters, A will do the full 600 meters and A will complete the race. And we'll just calculate the distance traveled by B. So initially B will do 100 and then another 480. So B will actually do only 580. So when A does 600 meters, B will do only 580, or B will be behind A by 20 meters. So A will beat B by 20 meters. That is option C, 20 meters.